The hallways of Griffin High buzzed with teenage chatter, fluorescent lights flickering above like tired eyes. Posters for the upcoming talent show curled at the corners, half torn from lockers, and the scent of cafeteria pizza wafted through the corridors. In the corner of the school's dimly lit cafeteria, Mr. Leonard mopped the floor in slow, circular motions, careful to avoid the stampede of sneakers that rushed by him daily. His motions were methodical, quiet, almost like he was painting the floor with memories no one else could see. To the students, he was invisible, just the janitor. Mid-60s, wiry frame, salt and pepper beard that clung to his chin like a man refusing to let go of time. His uniform, faded blue, always smelled faintly of bleach and something else, something old. Maybe grief. No one knew his first name. No one asked, except Jordan. 17, loud, and quick with a laugh that always came at someone else's expense. Jordan Tyler was the kind of kid who knew he ran the school, or at least acted like it. Star basketball player, principal's favorite, sharp dresser. His sneakers were always spotless, and his Instagram was filled with selfies captioned like movie posters. But underneath all that charm, Jordan was cruel in ways that left no bruises, just dents in people's dignity. "Hey, Mop Man," Jordan called out one Tuesday, his voice echoing across the cafeteria like a warning shot. "You missed a spot, my future." Laughter followed like a wave. His friends, the usual chorus of varsity jackets and expensive colognes, slapped the table in appreciation. Mr. Leonard paused, glanced over with tired eyes. Not angry, not embarrassed, just tired. Then he went back to mopping. To Jordan, silence meant weakness. But that silence was more powerful than he could have ever imagined. Jordan came from money, not the new kind that flaunted itself with designer belts and rented cars. The old kind. His father, Conrad Tyler, was a city developer known more for his campaign donations than his real estate deals. Every year, the Tyler Foundation donated thousands to Griffin High, new computers, sports uniforms, even an auditorium renovation. Jordan's shadow stretched far beyond his stature. Rules didn't apply to Jordan the way they did to everyone else. Detention slips had a strange way of vanishing. Teachers smiled through gritted teeth. And when Jordan mocked Mr. Leonard or accidentally knocked over a bucket just to see him scramble, no one said a word. No one dared. Mr. Leonard never reacted. He just kept cleaning, head low, hands steady. Some students whispered that he used to be in the military, special forces. Maybe. Others said he'd been in jail. Theories floated like myths, but none mattered enough to be confirmed. He was just a janitor. Until everything changed. It started with a rumor. A full-ride scholarship, anonymous donor, elite engineering school, nationally recognized. One student would be selected. The announcement hit like lightning. Griffin High erupted with ambition overnight. Study groups formed. SAT prep books flew off the library shelves. Everyone was in, except Jordan. Jordan didn't study. He didn't need to, or so he thought. He was the frontrunner, at least in his own mind. That Thursday morning, Mr. Leonard entered the gym early, unnoticed as always. He swept in silence, pushing the dust into neat, forgotten piles while sunlight streamed in through high windows. Jordan was seated in the bleachers with Coach Davis, who was helping him rehearse his humble acceptance speech. And I couldn't have done it without the support of this school and my amazing teachers. Jordan recited with a smirk, raising imaginary applause with a slight bow. Coach Davis chuckled weakly, clearly uncomfortable. Mr. Leonard moved closer, his broom slowing. Then Jordan leaned in and whispered just loud enough. "Hey, Coach, you think they'd still give me the scholarship if they knew I cheated on that physics final? Mr. Thompson's passwords are easier than my little sister's diary." Coach Davis blinked, frozen. So did Mr. Leonard. But Jordan didn't see it. He wouldn't realize what had happened until it was far too late. The days that followed were filled with nervous excitement. Essays were reviewed, recommendation letters sealed, interviews scheduled. Jordan floated through the chaos like a celebrity, nodding confidently, taking selfies with the scholarship poster. But beneath the surface, wheels were turning. Mr. Leonard had quietly spoken to someone on the school board, a former colleague, someone who owed him a favor. Suddenly, the selection committee changed. Background checks became stricter, and Mr. Leonard's name started to appear in hushed conversations behind office doors. The day of the scholarship ceremony was electric. The gymnasium was decorated with streamers, balloons, and a makeshift stage. Local news stations set up tripods. Parents filed into the bleachers, holding up phones. A massive check stood at the center of the stage, turned backward for dramatic effect. Jordan arrived late, like a star making his entrance. His suit was tailored. His smile was rehearsed. He winked at the principal. He shook hands with the mayor. Then he sat, waiting for his name to echo through the loudspeakers. The principal stepped up to the microphone, clearing her throat. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here today to honor excellence, not just in academics, but in integrity, resilience, and impact. Jordan stood up early, already adjusting his collar. The principal continued. We've received dozens of nominations and considered each one carefully. But one candidate stood out, not only for their contributions, but for the strength of their character. Jordan blinked. Mr. Leonard James. Silence. The room froze. Then murmurs. Mr. Leonard, who had been standing by the gym doors in his usual uniform, stepped forward. But he was different now. He wore a clean white shirt, tucked into tailored slacks. No mop, no gloves. He looked taller, straighter, like a burden had been lifted. The principal smiled warmly. What many of you don't know is that Mr. Leonard holds 2 engineering degrees, including one from MIT. He was once one of the youngest black project leads in the aerospace sector, heading designs for propulsion systems still used in modern aircraft. Gasps. A phone dropped. After losing his wife and daughter in a tragic car accident 13 years ago, the principal continued, voice trembling slightly. Mr. Leonard walked away from the industry. He dedicated his life to helping students in underserved schools, quietly, humbly behind the scenes. This scholarship committee was so moved by his story that they offered not just a full fellowship, but a permanent position here. She paused. Starting this fall, Mr. Leonard will become Griffin High's new applied sciences instructor and oversee all academic integrity protocols. Jordan sat down, slowly, like the air had been sucked out of his lungs. After the ceremony, Jordan found Mr. Leonard near the back stairwell, away from the crowd. You set me up, Jordan hissed, eyes red. Mr. Leonard looked at him quietly. Calm, unmoved. I didn't set you up, he said. You exposed yourself. Jordan's voice cracked. You're not going to report me? Mr. Leonard's eyes softened. I don't have to. Sometimes the weight of your own choices is punishment enough. And with that, he walked away, leaving Jordan alone in the stairwell that suddenly felt smaller than ever. The fallout was swift but quiet. Jordan's scholarship was revoked. Discreetly. No news coverage. Just a simple email. We regret to inform you. His father pulled strings, but it was too late. The committee had made its decision. Integrity mattered. But something strange happened after that. Jordan changed. He stopped mocking people. He stopped performing. He showed up early to basketball practice. He stayed late to clean the gym, not because anyone asked him to, but because he needed to. He started tutoring other students. He stopped seeking attention, and slowly, students began to see a different side of him. One afternoon, Jordan passed Mr. Leonard's new classroom. The door was open. The whiteboard was covered in equations and circuit diagrams. Students leaned forward, hanging on every word. Mr. Leonard moved with energy now, arms animated, eyes alive. Jordan lingered in the doorway. For the first time, he saw not a janitor, but a man who had carried greatness silently on his shoulders, waiting for someone, anyone, to notice. And in that moment, Jordan didn't feel resentment. He felt hope. In life, the people we overlook are often the ones who see us the clearest. The janitor, the quiet teacher, the shy student, they carry truths we ignore until it's too late. But sometimes we're lucky enough to see them in time. Sometimes justice doesn't look like revenge. Sometimes it looks like redemption. Because in the end, it's not about who claps when you win. It's about who you become when no one is watching.